Let me, Walid, can we start?
Yes.
Okay. Ji, Assalamu alaikum and good morning here, or good early afternoon in America, and good evening in Pakistan. We are very delighted that a very elite team of King Edward Medical College, which is the premier, actually King Edward Medical University, which is a premier medical university of Pakistan, is here today. Research team is headed by Professor Saira Afzal, who, Apna Merit, has worked very closely with various ventures ranging from family practice to research, and she has been very energetic and proficient member of King Edward faculty, and always have collaborated with Kemkhana as well as Apna Merit. Today, she's going to showcase their research landscape in King Edward, as well as any other initiative or innovative initiative that King Edward Medical University is taking in the 21st century. So I will welcome Professor Saira Afzal, and please introduce yourself briefly and then start your presentation. After the presentation, which I'm hoping will finish in at least 40 minutes, we will introduce the panelists. We were hoping that the Vice Chancellor of King Edward Medical University will join us, and as well as Kemkhana, which is the North American Association of King Edward Medical College in Apna. President and President-elect will be joining us. President-elect is here, Irfan Munir, but Fateh Shahzad will be joining as well. So we will introduce them after Professor Saira's presentation. So Professor Saira Afzal, welcome again to Apna Merit Forum. Please go ahead.
Thank you very much. It is always a pleasure and privilege to be invited by Apna Merit and the marvelous work that has been done over the years. And everything is available on YouTube, and it is really an inspiration. Today, my talk would be about the changing landscape of research, especially in King Edward Medical University. As we all know that we have been in evolution for a very long time, as it was Lahore Medical School in 1860. Then it is changed to Medical College in 1911 as King Edward Medical College. And in 2005, it was established as a university. So the basic difference that was there was about creation of knowledge and research. So the university has a lot of emphasis, and whatever is the leader, whoever is the vice chancellor, the most of the emphasis has ever or is always and always on research. We have from the undergraduate research to the postgraduate research. Our Department of Community Medicine is leading this initiative of research. Please, next slide, please. So first, I would talk more about the undergraduate research and how it has changed to the postgraduate research. In undergraduate, we have about 350 students and a very big number. So we divided it into 32 batches. Each batch is allocated certain research topics for the research activities, and these projects, mostly they get published in several journals. I would also like to talk about the journals, especially another King Edward Medical University and other journals where our publications are getting visibility and they are there for dissemination. Next slide, please. So if we see at the undergraduate research, we can see that there are lots and lots of topics, especially about intrastable professional activities in medical students, how the autism can be prevented, the peer-assisted learning in medical institution, ethical dilemmas, quality of life, and there is a diverse topics that are given to the undergraduates for the learning research as well as application of their knowledge for research base. Next, please. Similarly, we have other topics that are from environmental point of view that were very important, like smoke and quality of life, with various important communities like transgenders and knowing their perspectives. Again, it is one of the topics that has been covered this year in 2021. Next, please. And you can see there are about 32 topics that we covered in 2021, and from screening of colon cancer to the quality of preventive measures by the healthcare workers and other important topics. Next, please. Now, I would also like to talk about the postgraduate research activities, as we have PhD program, we have FCPS program, we have MD program, and each of these programs have very important parameters that have to be met. For example, in PhD program, the important bullet point is that it has to be approved from the ethical review board, from the advanced study and research board, then it has to be examined by the foreign examiners, and then there is an examination and defense. In FCPS, we have part 1, then we have intermediate module examination. That is only possible after submission of the synopsis. That is the research proposal. And in the end, we have the part 2 examination. And before that, the dissertation has to be submitted. Similarly, we have MD and MS program, again, the research degrees, because a lot of emphasis has been put on research. Next, please. So there is a lot of postgraduate activities that are being done in the department, and most of these research are being published not only in national journals, but also in international journals. And you can see the many names of impact factor journals in this long list that has been published by our postgraduate students. So you can see that there are very important topics that have been published from the postgraduate research. So this is the changing landscape that we have started as a college. So we have our focus on undergraduate research, but now our main focus is on publications. And in publications, we are not only having the undergraduates, but also the postgraduates to publish, to disseminate their knowledge, to share their knowledge, to participate in international conferences, and so on. Next slide, please. So these are the research publications by the postgraduate students, and we make it a mandatory requirement for the PhD student to get at least 1 to 3 publications in impact factor journals that are recognized by Thomson Reuters, USA, in order to get their PhD degree. However, for FCPS and MD, MS students, we have certain stringent policies of ethical approvals of Advanced Study and Research Board, but still we are looking forward that in future we would have their publication in impact factor journals too. Next, please. In COVID-19, we have lots and lots of publications, and we, being the member of PRODA Expert Advisory Group, the Department of Community Medicine has given a lot of emphasis on research, because we know that in levels of evidence, the highest level of evidence is meta-analysis. And after meta-analysis, the guidelines has to be made. So for COVID-19, lots of emphasis has been put on making guidelines for COVID-19. It was a new disease, not only for Pakistan, but for all over the world. So most of the important findings, like how many cases are there in pregnancy, how much pregnant ladies are they are having different important conditions, low birth weight, etc. It was covered in these research papers. Next, please. Next. Then we have certain international projects, and these international projects, I would talk only about the 6 important projects that we have with Imperial College London, and we won these projects through UK NIHR, National Institutional Health Research Forum, and we got these projects. The #1 project is about strengthening of non-communicable diseases, surveillance in South Asia. In project 2, we won this research project where there is a relationship of clinical and laboratory measures with the risk of future type 2 diabetes mellitus and coronary heart disease in South Asians. And the project 3 was about the frontline health workers for delivery of pen intervention for prevention and control of type 2 diabetes and cardiovascular diseases in South Asia. And the project 4 is about digital interventions for health promotion and prevention of type 2 diabetes mellitus and cardiovascular diseases in South Asians. And all these projects, they are funded by NIHR grant. The fifth important project is about population-based primary prevention of non-communicable diseases, including nutritional diseases. And we have developed the guidelines for nutrition. Next, please. So when we talk about the team members, as I have already told you, that it is the Imperial College London that has the pivotal role in this research, where there are other team members, including the Global Health Research Unit on Diabetes and Cardiovascular Diseases in South Asia and Informes. Next, please. After having the collaborative partnership with all these, we developed certain important nutritional guidelines, and we have developed different workshops for these guidelines. One of these workshops was conducted by Imperial College London in King Edward Medical University, where WHO, World Health Organization, UNICEF, and all important stakeholders, including Punjab Health Authority for Food, was there, and they have helped us in finding out the right policies that should be implemented. Next, please. So these research projects, they are not only beneficial for research, but also for translational research. We want our research to move from the labs to the bedside, from the researchers to the healthcare systems. So this is the group photo of all the stakeholders that participated from Pakistan. Our Pro Vice Chancellor, Professor Ijaz Hussain, is also there in this workshop. He was there along with our Professor of Medicine and people from World Health Organization, Punjab Food Authority, from UNICEF, and other important stakeholders like Fatima Jinnah Medical University and other universities. Next, please. We also have developed a student research mentorship program. Next, please. And this mentorship program is very important because there are many people from CAMCANA, CAMCA UK, who are helping our students to develop good research projects. One of these lecture was by a senior researcher. He is a fellow in UCL London, Dr. Ayub. He himself came to King Edward Medical University and he mentored the students who later got published in different journals, including Annals of King Edward Medical University. Next, please. So this is something that is very new for most of the people because undergraduate students, they are publishing in a very good impact factor journals because they are working with prolific researchers like Professor Farooq Naeem, Professor Ayub, Professor other professors who have a name in research, and with their name, there is the second and third author are our students. So he introduced the research methodologies, and this is one of the slides by Grigoris. He is from McMaster University, Canada, and he mentored the students for meta-analysis. Again, a prolific researcher who has a big name in meta-analysis, and he mentored our students to do meta-analysis, and that is something that is very different from the previous practice. So this is how the landscape of research, it is changing every single moment. Next, please. Dr. Ayub is taking lecture in King Edward Medical University, new auditorium, and he is telling about many important things about research. Next. So our way forward is we are still looking forward for the collaborations. Even today we were in Expo Center Lahore, where our guests were from Turkey, and we were talking about the ELISA lab for seroprevalence of COVID-19, because we have been through this pandemic and have seen that the deaths are very less in Pakistan as compared to the other countries. Even the severity of the disease that has not been as much as in USA or UK. So our immunity is playing a major role. So we are looking forward to have a seroprevalence study with Turkey. And similarly, we are also having certain quality standards for water testing. As we know that environment in Lahore, especially, and in all over Pakistan, after these floods, it has been a disaster for the human health, because these floods have caused a lot of scarcity of not only food, but also water. So these water testing labs, they would provide one of the quality assurance of the safe drinking water to many people who have been suffering in different areas of Pakistan. Next, please. So now there are a few words about the Annals of King Edward Medical University, and then we would move forward towards question and answer session. So would you please like to share the slides on Annals of King Edward Medical University?
Sure, just a second.
Meanwhile, I can see the chat box. There are many people who are from Nawaz Sharif Medical College, and yes, USA has launched its subsidiary trial in Lahore. We are here to fast track the preclinical and clinical operations. And there is another person who is PhD in anthropology, Qaid-e-Azam University, right? And there are many other people who are there in the chat box. Thank you very much for sending your messages. So the Annals of King Edward Medical University, it is one of a university journal that is present in Thomson Reuters. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. It is about, it was first published in 1995, so it is 27 years of long journey that Annals of King Edward Medical University is being published regularly. Next, please. Next, please. It is published on quarterly basis. Next, please. And we have the editorial board. The international board members are Professor John Cordbeek from Canada, Paul Barrack from USA, from Kamran Abbasi from United Kingdom. He is also the editor of BMJ. We have Professor John Chambers from Imperial College London, Professor David Smith from University of Nebraska, Professor Jean Blair, again from University of Nebraska, USA, Professor Sagar Goyal from University of Minnesota, Professor Saminori Aikeba from Japan, Arif Ghafoor, he is from USA, University of Purdue, Professor Muhammad Anwar, he is from Japan, University of Kagoshima, Professor Sarwat Hussain, again, one of our alumnus who has helped us a lot. He is from University of Massachusetts, USA. Professor Malabika Sarkar, she is from Bangladesh. Professor Taekyon Ara from United Kingdom. Janet Grant from United Kingdom. Ian Willis and Jane Willis from United Kingdom. Professor Mubin Rotor, again one of our alumnus who has helped us a lot. Professor of Pediatrics from University of Florida. Dr. Gohar Wajid, he is in Egypt. He is in AMRO, WHO. Professor Xinghua Zhu, he is from China. So these are the international board members along with our own members from King Edward Medical University and other universities who are helping us. So this is the editorial board members of King Edward Medical University Annals. Next, please. Whenever there are any foreign delegate who is in King Edward Medical University, we always present Annals of King Edward Medical University, its articles, research, and we discuss with them. So Professor Sagar Goyal from University of Minnesota, he was in our academic council room along with our chief editor and editors of Annals of King Edward Medical University. Next, please. It is a very stringent process of 6 steps, and after this 6th step, either the article is accepted or it is rejected. If it is returned to the authors for major corrections, there is a time limit, and within the time limit, the author has to respond, otherwise it stands rejected. Next, please. This is the whole flow that is present on the website, www.annalskemu.org. Next, please. So what is the benefit of publication? The first important benefit is that it is present in Master Journal List of Thomson Reuters. It is present in Journal Citation Report. It is recognized by Higher Education Commission Pakistan, Pakistan Medical Commission, and College of Physician Surgeons Pakistan, Pak Medinet, and also in many of international databases, as well as it is the one of the journals that is indexed in ICMJE, PKP, and it is also present on Google Scholar, EBSCOhost, ResearchGate, etc. Next, please. So another important point is that there are the editorials and guest editorials from the prolific researchers all over the world, and especially on the cutting edge technologies, on the state of art research, and how the different important things that are coming up, like kangaroo mother care, like vitamin D deficiency, etc. Next, please. This is the Google Scholar citations that is showing an upward graph. Next, please. Our research workshops are there for quality enhancement and were collaborations with international universities and faculty, especially CAMCANA, and CAMCA UK has helped us in identifying several initiatives like monthly online lectures for research mentorship. CAMCANA is also serving as reviewers and editors of Annals of King Edward Medical University. They are also involved in individual mentoring. For example, here is one of the lecture from one of the mentor on cross-sectional study designs, and he is present in University of West Virginia and giving us the lecture here in Pakistan through Zoom link. Next, please. These are our reviewers and editors and the faculty members who are actively taking part in this process of peer reviews and critical analysis of research. Next, please. So the landscape has been changed. There are certain research awards. Most of the research awards are by CAMCANA, and these are the winners of the research award. And you can see that there are the boys, girls, and many undergraduate students and postgraduate students. They are winning prizes that have been introduced by CAMCANA for research publication. Next, please. Next, please. This is the guest editorial by Professor Sabat Hussain. Again, on artificial intelligence, one of a cutting edge guest editorial that is explaining how the computer and information technology for healthcare, it is revolutionizing our lives. Next, please. Next, please. Thank you, Dr. Bushra, for your very kind message. And we have other guest editorials like the differences between traditional vaccines and RNA vaccines, safety, efficacy, reliability, and future of COVID-19 vaccine. So most of the topics, they are really very innovative topics. And that is the reason that citations are increasing marvelously over the years. Next, please. Now, I would like to show you how the quick response code is working on each and every article. We have the quick response code, and you can scan through the smartphones and can read the article as well as save the reference for your future reading as well as citation. Next, please. So there is a provision of more than 7,000 references can be saved through this code if it is scanned properly in your smartphone. Our statistics have shown, if you can see, that this is the time period. It is from January 2021 to July 23. That is not even full 6 months. you can see that there were more than 53,000 users who have the page reviews from 10 of these countries, from a long list of the countries. If I go to the number of these countries, you can see how many people are citing Annals of King Edward Medical University, reading it, downloading it. Next slide, please. So in Pakistan, it is mostly from Lahore. There are more than 6,292, from Karachi, 2,461, and so on. Then Rawalpindi, Islamabad, Faisalabad, Peshawar, Multan, Sialkot, and Hyderabad. Next, please. Similarly, you can see here we have next country where most of our users are present. It is USA. From California, New York, Texas, Ohio, Florida, Virginia, Illinois, Pennsylvania, and New Jersey. And these are the states where we have maximum alumni who are working and they are promoting research. Similarly, United Kingdom, again, more 1,108, and you can see that there is a huge number of people who are reading and using Annals of King Edward Medical University from England. Next, please. Similarly, India, yes, again, we have total 3,997 users, and mostly are from Karnataka, Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, and so on. Next, please. In Nigeria, again, you can see there are 879 users. Next, please. From Australia, there are more users from New South Wales, then Victoria, Queensland, Western Australia, South Australia, and so on. Next, please. In Philippines, we have more than 1,400 users. And again, the cities, they have been listed here. Next, please. Indonesia, again, Jakarta is one of the city where we have maximum users in Indonesia. Next, please. In Malaysia, next, please. Canada, again, more than 500 users from Canada, and Ontario is at the top of the list. Next, please. So this is one of the system how we process it at the managing level. Most of our articles, they are being rejected due to certain reasons. So if we calculate the ratio, the 70% of the articles, they are rejected within 3 months. So it is a 6-step process, and we have the acceptance rate of only 30% right now. Next, please. It is included in latest JCR released in June 2022. It is in HEC recognized category. It is blind external peer review system along with the foreign peer reviews. We have 50% editorial board members and reviewers from technologically advanced countries, including UK, USA, Australia, Canada. We have a dynamic website. Our visibility report shows more than 200 countries. And there is also one of a key thing is that there are about 500 sites per author. So our authors who are getting publication in Annals, they are prolific researchers. Next, please. We are looking forward to more guest editorials from CAMCANA, APNA, CAMCA UK, our alumni, as well as from other prolific researchers. We are open to everyone. Systematic reviews, we always encourage the systematic reviews to be published in Annals of King Edward Medical University. Many new sections are being added, like clinical vignettes, medical humanities, case series, case reports. We also are always welcoming the reviewer suggestions and feedbacks, how to improve further, and research workshops through international collaboration. Next, please. So thank you very much. This is the building of Patiala block. It is in King Edward Medical University. We have different blocks. One of the block is Patiala block because Maharaja Patiala, he donated for this block. And this is a beautiful block. It housed our library hall, our departments, and our Vice Chancellor's office. And on the behalf of our Vice Chancellor, I welcome you all. Whenever you come to King Edward Medical University, do visit this historic building. It's really beautiful. Thank you very much. And if you have any question, you are most welcome to ask.
Thank you, Professor Saira. Very informative and impressive, obviously, what is expected from a premier institute like King Edward Medical University. In our panelists, we have many Chemcolians, former King Edward Medical graduates. And I will ask them to introduce themselves one by one, but starting with the Chemkhana president, Dr. Fateh Shahzad. I will invite him, Dr. Shahzad, to introduce yourself and if you have any question for the speaker or any comment about the presentation.
I'm Dr. Fateh Shahzad. I'm graduate of King Edward Medical University of 1988. Currently working as an internist and hospitalist in state of Kentucky, USA. I'm current president of Chemkhana as well as have various roles in APNA committees. Very wonderful presentation. I want to thank APNA Merit for providing this platform for various medical colleges as well as our alumni to present their research work and educational work. Dr. Sara Afzal, as usual, she presented very well, especially the current affairs of fog, water testing, especially with current flooding. That will be very helpful. Annals of Chemkhana, it was amazing work that KEMU doing internationally and having international editorial members. So that's very impressive. At the end, I would say that we are, as Chemkhana and APNA, working with the WFME as well as PMC, PMDC regarding upcoming accreditation of WFME, which is a very tedious job, but we're helping PMC, PMDC to get that accreditation. Winter meeting of Chemkhana is going to be on 19 and 20 December. Also, we're planning to have interactive session with the young physicians and students of KEMU and other university students are invited, most likely on 15th of December for career counseling and visa issues, which we claim to do a very good job. Thank you, and I'm open for any questions.
Dr. Fateh Shahzad, this is something that really APNA does very well, encouraging, supporting, providing resources to the young physicians who are coming to America. And Dr. Fateh Shahzad always lead that, and APNA also has, build up relationships for any problem with the visas when J1 waiver are delayed for administrative processing. Now I'll invite the president-elect of Chemkhana, Dr. Irfan Munir, to please introduce yourself and give your comment and questions.
Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Irfan Munir, class of 1987. I'm a nephrologist in the United States. I'm associate professor of medicine at Indiana University Medical Center. President-elect of Chemkhana this year. I'll be Chemkhana president next year. Thanks, Dr. Sara Afzal, for excellent presentation. It was very well received. And my comments would be, if we can, in future, have some sessions on the basic research tools and various study designs for the medical students, so they can educate it going through a medical school that will learn these tools as they apply it to future research. and we as a part of Gymkhana, we are planning a symposium, scientific symposium on December 20th at KMU, and we are also conducting a workshop on home dialysis modalities and on December 21st, and that workshop will include introduction to the medical students about various kind of home dialysis, how to establish infrastructure, how we are planning to provide support to initiate those treatments in Pakistan, and our goal is to train the local doctors to carry this treatment modality within Pakistan, not only in the major cities and subsequently in smaller cities. It'll be a whole day workshop, and we will have some virtual lectures from the expert from United States as well, and we will shortly be sending out our plans about this workshop. So I look forward to seeing you all during that session, and we're hoping to have a very sort of interactive and productive session. So I'll stop here and I'll take any comments or questions.
Thank you, Irfan. Great programs, lineup. I know you've been involved in nephrology and dialysis work for a long time. And I see two other Kamkolian who are both very eminent in their own fields. And, it's a toss-up who goes first. It's Syed Uzair from Toronto and Sarwat Hussain. So Sarwat Hussain was all many times in Professor Saira's presentation, being part of the editorial team of Annals of Gymkhana, Annals of King Edward Medical University, as well as providing valuable support. So Professor Sarwat Hussain, please go ahead and introduce yourself and any comment and question.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone, and especially welcome to Professor Saira. Professor Saira is, I think, one of the perfect professor in her right as a researcher. And but what I admire her the most is her kindness and her, warm reception every time we go and talk to her or even work with her. I have a few comments to make. Number one, that I would be available for any, I will planning to go to Pakistan in December and available for any service for education or workshop. Secondly, I would like to propose through this forum a concept of scholar twinning. And I think we talked about this before also, where one of the researchers in Pakistan can liaise with a researcher in the US, people who have written papers in the past, and their material can be written in the format and in the English that is acceptable to international journals by somebody who has done so in the US, and I can offer myself for that purpose. And the idea, one of the reasons that the papers from non-English speaking world are not accepted in the English speaking world is really the language and the expression and the nuances, etc. And that can be corrected, and very valuable research that goes unpublished in the Western journal can be accepted in the Western journal. So scholar twinning program. And if as Dr. Saira is very kind, I can in fact write an editorial for this concept of how it works and how I have implemented this in my journal, Journal of Global Radiology, for the last 5-6 years, to some extent successfully. So once again, great work. And the picture of Patiala block, brings a lot of nostalgia for us. and brings me back to my days in medical college. And I won't tell you what is the year of my graduation at KE Medical College, because you will probably not talk to me after that. So I'm going to let Dr. Uzair continue with this. And after thanking Dr. Saira immensely and tremendously, and welcome her to this forum. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, Sarwat. Dr. Uzair is needs no introduction to this forum. He's been involved with Apna Merit for over 2 years and has been really instrumental in bringing a lot of value to this forum by connecting us with various speakers and panelists and institutions, and he has done a lot. And just in medical education, not only in medical education research, but also in innovation and entrepreneur or medical health tech world. He's very well known, and of course, proud Kemkolian. So please go ahead, Uzair, and give your introduction and comment questions.
Thank you very much, Shahid, and thank you to everybody. Assalamu alaikum. So today is a very special day because I see a galaxy of people from King Edward Medical University. So I'm not as shy as Dr. Sarwat, sharing my year of graduation, that is 1985. So I'm a little younger than Sarwat, so no hesitation, and I feel really very excited. Just to build on, somebody was sharing, Dr. Fan Munir, about the home dialysis. So I'm so happy. So my specialty is healthcare management consultant. And there is a facility going to be established in Lahore for the local development of peritoneal dialysis hardware, as well as the reagents. So this is going to coincide very well with that. So I think they are going to start their formal production by the start of next year. So that's a very, very good news. And I think if somebody is interested to know about the clinical research landscape in Pakistan, so Apna Merit YouTube channel is the ideal place really to see all the the clinical trial sites. And we are going to map all of them one by one, starting from, up north, and then we are moving towards the south, ultimately to Aga Khan and Dow, and then moving to the public sector universities in life sciences like the Quaid-e-Azam University. So today is a very special day, and I am really thankful to all of you for joining, and Shahid being, taking up the responsibility as the chair. Apna Merit. So if you have any question, any reference, please feel free, because I took part in all of the webinars so far. So that is the institutional memory. So you can refer to me if you have any question. So not taking much of the time. So thanks once again to all of you.
Thank you, Zair. Yes, that would be great. In addition to Apna Merit coordinator Waleed, who has all the coordination and great work all through these years, putting Merit Academy and Apna Academy in place, and courses and webinars in one place. Dr. Uzair will also be a repository of information and any questions that the audience have. Finally, very eminent, again, no introduction needed for this attendee of this forum, Dr. Umar Hayat. He is a pharmaceutical research scientist from Silicon Valley, a wealth of experience in research. So Umar, please go ahead and introduce yourself and comments and questions.
Thank you very much, Dr. Shahid. Umar Hayat, I'm a pharmaceutical development scientist. Of course, the nature of my question is going to be slightly different. Dr. Sarah, wonderful presentation. I really appreciate it, and it gives me a wealth of knowledge, like how the landscape is in Pakistan. the one thing very much and very well pronounced is that the clinical research is really the part of the curriculum and very well institutionalized, and it basically even is a basis for the promotion of the faculty members. My question or comment is really for King Edward Medical University and College in Kampala. What should be the next step? I mean, I'm more interested to know whether we can do the clinical trials, which I assume would be the next step for most of the institutions which are being presented here. The ultimate goal, to get the degree or move up in the faculty is there, but also we need to bring the international clinical trials. That's number one, what we should be doing and what we are doing. And second is what we should be also doing to forge the local collaborations, because I have been seeing these seminars, and it seems to me that it's very much like a fragmented approach each of the institute is doing, but there should be some sort of collaborations. So at least at the end of this whole workshop, if we can come up with the one center which can be internationally recognized and companies, especially from US, feel comfortable to taking their trials. So I stop here. So those are a few thoughts I really want to share with you. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Umar. I guess let me see if we have a few questions, and if Dr. Sanaullah Sajid, let me see if I can unmute. Walid, if you can unmute these and they can ask themselves. Can you do that for Dr. Nurbad Saab and Mohammed Imran and Sanaullah? Three people, if we can take their questions. But before that, I wanted to ask Fateh Shahzad about, because it's on everyone's mind, and of course Professor Saira from Pakistani perspective, about the issue of WFME. In simple words, what is the message? What is the status of this problem?
Sure. The WFME, as you all know, is the World Federation for Medical Education. Headquarters is in England, UK, and one office is in Paris. It does regulate the medical education part and provides accreditation to the regulatory authorities of various countries, like Pakistan is PMC or PMDC. So we were not accredited, and the negative part of not being accredited is going to be having some issues with the entry into USA system through ECFMG, as well as the Canadian system and Australia system for graduate of Pakistan. So PMDC started working in 2018, but that work was halted because of a change in the status. So PMC started working with accreditation this year. They did send the application, initial application, which has been approved, and whatever the paperwork was to be submitted has been submitted, and WFME is planning to come for on-site visit, which is mandatory for this accreditation process within next 3 months. So what we were concerned about, this PMC and PMDC shifting in the government status at the Senate and National Assembly level, but through the information from the health department, this is not going to be affected. Accreditation process will continue as it is, and we're very hopeful that we should have PMC, PMDC accredited by WFME. Now, one thing that there is a little bit misconception that after this year, after 2023, which is the deadline for accreditation, that Pakistani graduates cannot come to USA or can't get into USA system. That's not accurate. As long as a Pakistani student after their second year, they get registered with ECFMG, that will be their third year of medical school, they will qualify for ECFMG certification and further into residency programs entry in USA. So those Pakistani students who are second year, they should try to register with the ECFMG next year. Those who are in third year, fourth year, final year, they should get registered and they should start working on their USMLE step 1, 2. Doesn't matter if they don't pass till 2023, 2024, they will be still eligible for ECFMG certification.
So, Professor Saira, would you be able to add from Pakistani perspective if you know the status of this situation?
Right. This situation that ECFMG has announced that accreditation is required, and we are bound with the policies of Pakistan Medical Council, because the Pakistan Medical Council has to choose certain important universities for the visit of World Federation for Medical Education and ECFMG team to come to Pakistan and visit those important institutions. King Edward Medical University is always one of those institutions that have been chosen by different agencies, organizations, and regulatory authorities for the visits. And we are very well prepared for it. But as we know that PMC is the main body, or PMDC now, that has to apply for WFME. And in 2018, I was fortunate enough to be the co-opted member of that council who has made certain standards. And one of my teacher, Professor Gohar Wajid, was there as a chair of that committee who has made the standards for all the institutions to apply before the visit from WFME is here in Pakistan. And we are very much sure that as soon as WFME and ECFMG team are here in Pakistan, the institutions like King Edward Medical University and other institutions that were chosen previously by the regulatory authority, they all are fully prepared to show them that they are meeting those standards. So this is one of the things that we are looking forward, that we get this visit as soon as possible. And our alumni, they are promising us that they are giving all the support and all the help that they can do for their universities to pay back their alma mater in order to get this recognition as soon as possible.
Gee, great. Fateh Shehzad, you had an additional comment?
Gee, I do just want to clarify one thing, that the accreditation is going to be for the PMC, PMDC, and then all those colleges, medical school, universities under PMC will be all accredited once PMC is accredited. It's not going to be individual accreditation of medical colleges. So it's important for all the medical institutions to be ready for inspection.
Ji. I see that Dr. Sanallah Sajid can speak. You can unmute Dr. Sanallah if you would like to ask a question.
Thank you so much, sir. Hello, everyone. First of all, I would like to congratulate Dr. Saira Afzal for a really wonderful presentation. And I'm Dr. Sanallah Sajid, the head of preclinical and clinical operations. Trial 360. This is a subsidiary of Hayat Pharmaceuticals USA. So I am concerned about the water testing laboratory that Dr. Saira Afzal just mentioned in the presentation. So as far as my experience, not only the E. coli and other Enterobacter family, arsenic is a major issue in Pakistan water, particularly in Lahore. So I just want to ask what kind of other parameters your lab can facilitate and you are following regarding the water testing.
Thank you very much. This is a very pertinent and important question because we know that certain surveys have been done in the past and they have shown that not only the arsenic, but also there are dangerous levels of other metals, especially like lead, mercury, and they are very dangerous. Similarly, we also have the dangerous levels of cadmium and some other micro elements that are normally found in water, but their levels should be within WHO range that has been recommended for drinking water. One of the key element that is present is that most of the industry's waste, they are not being properly processed before filtering into rivers and water channels. Later on, that water recycling causes increased levels of metals in water. The second important thing is biological parameters, as there should be no E. coli, there should be no Pseudomonas and other organisms in water. If they are there, it means there is some fecal contamination. So two contaminations are very dangerous. One is the waste from the industries, and second is the sewage that is coming from the human waste. So this water testing lab would give the standard of care to all those who are there, and all the water, either it is being bottled or it is being used from the taps, etc. It would be checked, and then the quality is being monitored, evaluated, surveillance is done, and many important infections and epidemics could be stopped, like the typhoid, as we know, hepatitis A, E, and other waterborne, water washed, and other diseases. They would be prevented by checking the water quality. And paramount importance in flood affected areas, because flood affected areas, we have seen that recently there is an epidemic of cholera as well as typhoid and hepatitis. So this quality of water has to be, and we are still looking for more collaborations in this regard. And I would welcome anybody who is listening to please come forward and please do help us if you have any expertise in checking metals, especially mercury, lead, arsenic in drinking water. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Saira. I have experience working with the Punjab Water Authority and to benefit the RO water plants 2 years back. So I'm just leaving my email. I would like to discuss later on. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Okay,
Dr.
thank you.
Sanda. Briefly, Dr. Noor Bhatt, and then we will be closing our today's session. Noor Bhatt, you can unmute and please briefly talk about your comment question.
Yeah, thank you very much. I have long standing working with the medicine. I've written in my comments my interest. My first students.
We saw that great service.
Way back in 1961, Nafis Nagi, etc. About 20 of them went into KV in 1961 and passed in 1966. Anyway, they're still in contact, but my current interest has been in the nanotechnology and the use of this current technology in various aspects of industrial revolution. It's called industrial revolution. One of them is recently the nanomedicine. For the last 2-3 years, I'm interested in collecting the data on various aspects of nanomedicine, including cancer, including MRA resolution, and many other healthcare. So I think I'm very glad to listen to Dr. Saira's Afzal's talk about the research in medicine. And using these new methods, I would be interested if somebody is using nanomedicine, which is a current revolution in the use of nanotechnology, one of the area of this industrial revolution technology. So if I don't know if Dr. Saira Afzal has some program of it. As I have mentioned in my note that some years back, maybe about 7 or 8 years back, I had arranged a nanomedicine seminar in collaboration with Dr. Professor Aslam, who is the founder of the Medicine College in Islamabad, Shifa College. But currently, very briefly, mostly my experience in experimental nuclear and solid state physics, and the word nanotechnology I gave in lecture way back in 1995. So since then, this nanotechnology has come up. But current for the last 1 or 2 years, I'm interested in collaboration in the area of nanomedicine. We make nanoparticles. Recently, I published a paper in the application of zinc oxide nanoparticles and gold nanoparticles in reducing the inflammation in the cardiac patient's blood samples. This is published recently, 2 years. It's a very recent application, and a lot of appreciation has come up in the international field. But I'm interested currently in a private university, an Institute of Nanoscience and Technology, introducing a new concept of a multidisciplinary degree for the last 10 years, which has given a very interesting results in that 65 graduates with this multidisciplinary degree at BS level, that is physics, chemistry, biology, and material science. 65 graduates, 55 have won fully funded scholarships in 11 countries for MS and PhD. And so this, I think, is a new area of nanomedicine, where the medical graduates, I would request, particularly there should be some course in the medical college on based, although the implementation of the new medicines is coming up slowly in cancer. For example, FDA has approved Abraxane and other medicines. But I think this is a nascent area for medical graduates, and this is a very important forum. APNA has greatly contributed to the development of interaction between USA and Pakistan and other developed countries. And I think the medicine research in the new areas also requiring some attention. Very brief comments, but I'm happy to leave my email, which is nmbutt36@gmail.com.
That's great. nmbutt36@gmail.com. Please make a note of anyone who is interested to offline contact Butt Saab, and then do collaboration. So this forum is all about collaboration. We simply bring different interested scholars on this platform from Pakistan and abroad, particularly North America. But after that, the follow-up obviously is up to the interested parties. We do not endorse one institution over another, one company over another, one product over another. We simply would like to see medical education, research, and innovation in Pakistan flourish, strengthen, and help the ecosystem in Pakistan. That's the goal and mission and vision of Apna Merit. And with that, I really appreciate our speaker, eminent Professor Saira Kemkhana, President Fateh Shahzad, and President-elect, as well as other Kemkolian and panelists to join us for this very productive webinar and meeting. Please be safe, and thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you. Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz. Thank you very much.